The secret I've kept from my Brajan for 3 years is that I am the anonymous collector who buys one of his paintings at every gallery, showing he still doesn't know, and I am not sure he ever will. When I met Alex 4 years ago, he was working 60-hour weeks at a graphic design firm, while painting late into the night in our tiny apartment's second bedroom. He'd been creating art since childhood, but had never found the confidence to pursue it seriously. His parents were practical people who viewed art as a hobby and not a career, and had pushed him towards stable, creative fields instead. His paintings were extraordinary, brilliant, emotional landscapes that seemed to capture places that existed half in reality, half in dreams. But whenever he'd show his work to others, he'd immediately start pointing out flaws and apologizing for its amateur quality. The first time he had a small showing at a local coffee shop, I watched him price his paintings embarrassingly low, $75 for pieces that had taken weeks to create. He sold 2 that month and was so shocked that anyone would pay actual money for his art that he immediately spent the earnings on better supplies rather than keeping any profit. 6 months later, he was invited to participate in a small group exhibition at a neighborhood gallery. The night before the opening, I found him repainting the signature corner of his largest piece. When I asked why, he admitted he'd been about to remove it from the show, entirely because he convinced himself it wasn't good enough. The next day at the exhibition, I snuck away while he was talking to some other artists and approached the gallery owner. I asked if I could purchase one of Alex's paintings anonymously. She seemed confused until I explained that my brand's confidence in his art was so fragile that testimony from a stranger might mean more than support from someone who had to say nice things. She understood immediately and helped me arrange the purchase of his most expensive piece, still underpriced at $200. When she told him later that someone had bought it, the look on his face was worth every penny. He couldn't believe a complete stranger had connected with his work enough to spend money on it. Since then, I've purchased one painting at every showing under the pseudonym Bill Mitchell. I've had to create a separate banking account and had the gallery owners help me hide my identity. The paintings are stored in my sister's house, with 3 now hanging in my parents' home. I told Alex they bought prints on mine. As his confidence has grown, so have his prices. The most recent purchase cost me nearly $900, which meant eating gum for weeks afterward, but it's then worth it to wash and transform. He now refers to himself as an artist without hesitation. He's cut back his design job to part-time. He experiments with new techniques, without the paralyzing fear of failure that once held him back. Last month, he was accepted into a spray keynote exhibition where established collectors would be attending. As we were celebrating, he said something that nearly made me confess. You know it's strange, but that first anonymous collector, they've bought something from every single showing. The gallery owners say they never want to meet me, never leave contact information, just buy the work and disappear. For Bill Mitchell they're the reason I had the courage to submit to this exhibition. Sometimes I wonder if they're even real, or if the gallery owners made them up to encourage me. I just smiled and told him his work deserved every sale. The truth is, I'd been planning to come clean after this big exhibition, to show him all the paintings I've collected and explain why I did it. But now I'm not so sure. Next week he's meeting with a legitimate gallery owner who's interested in representing him. If things go well, he won't need my anonymous 69 anymore. Part of me feels guilty for the deception. But when I see how he stands taller now when showing his work, I can't bring myself to regret it. Sometimes I think some secrets are meant to stay secret, especially when they've helped someone find the confidence they always deserve to have.